We didn't crash this time. Cool. Ugh. Anyways, we're live. We had some technical difficulties. I'm going to take the break overlay off now. Yeah, so welcome back to Bane of the Ancients DnD Season 7, Session 13.2 again. That's what we're doing. I'm Gats. I'm the GM for this, and you should know these players if you were watching a little bit ago. If not, go watch another episode, the start of it, and you'll figure it out. I want to get back into this game. We left off with so Rune and Belenos. You guys were talking with the half-elf tinkerer, not half-elf, Jesus, halfling tinkerer.
I was like, whoa.
Halfling tinkerer. I'm all frazzle-dazzled him. Sorry.
No.
His name was what? Where was his name?
Lavoy.
His name is Lavoy.
Yeah, love the way.
Lavoy invited you all and your two companions to come back later and look at some stars, maybe talk to some snakes and birds. We'll see. And Shashka and Miki went out to investigate what exactly are they doing to this god. Is this what we ordered? Nice 2x4. And I think that's around the time that I crashed and went away, right?
Yes.
Okay. You rolled pretty high charisma, Miki, and it showed some expertise. They were, I think, basically explaining, like, yeah, we got some really good lumber up here to choose from. We were spoiled. That's where all the human towns get their lumber anyways, from basically us.
That's what my second paw was telling me. His name was Darren. He was also a woodsmith. A real paw. He's a smith.
And he was to Dugar?
No, which one?
You said it's Drow Dwarf, Dad Drow, Human Mother, right? Or
something like that,
opposite?
Sure.
Okay. Yes, good lumber here. We'll make very, very good lumber for you, Cart. It's
So
already seasoned.
How long you been working with wood?
Judging by this dwarf's gray hair, a long time. And there he is. Oh, you just picked a random guy. You didn't pick the bossy guy. Never mind. Ignore me. This guy's even older. He has white hair.
Wow.
All right. So yeah, white hair, gray eyes, like almost looks like he might go blind soon. Level of gray eyes. Wearing like worn leathers and apron and a tool belt. He's been working with this wood for hundreds of years.
Damn.
It's quite a while. If you don't mind me asking, since you seem to know the wood really well, you're probably the best person to ask. The area around in the wood and all that, is there any like secrets or anything I should be watching out for, once we leave town and all that?
Many secrets around the Bound Mound, even more within. But he like puts his words down he was carrying. You want to talk about this now, or want me work on this, or try multitask?
I'm gonna take a peek at Shaska and assume he's probably, at the same time I'm talking to him, talking to the big guy. I think we got the second, we're gonna be in town a while. Not every day you get to meet someone wiser than you.
I think
sometimes every day you meet somebody wiser than you.
Did you not hear me?
Oh, he heard
Yeah,
it.
I can
I
hear
think
you.
it was delayed.
Oh.
So you want me try multitask? You want to go in Golden Cup? You can tell boss that...
What would you prefer? Would you rather talk? Would you rather work? I don't want to bug you.
It's both work. I get hired to work for you within limits. They say work on the cart, answer questions. You have questions, I go help. But would be better doing one or the other. Don't know if you try multitask. It's a good way to get accident.
I can understand that. Have you eaten today?
You can always eat.
Well, then let's go have a chat then.
And he just like gives a signal like this, like bloop, 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 and point. And the other dwarf with gray hair just like gives a tired look and a nod. And you guys take this withery dwarf into the golden cup. And he just comes and sits at the bar, points, and Blava brings him a mug of stout. Assume you're buying?
Not allowed to keep money on me.
As you're over here again, like, hey, do you have it?
Then I probably would poke my head in, like, reflexively and flick some coins at Miki, knowing that they don't keep money on
I
them.
probably also would have just gone to Shaska and be like, can I butter some money? I'm getting information.
Lunch money, please.
You're like, let's go get lunch. I have no wallet. Okay.
I definitely would have stopped at Shaska first, assuming he's talking
So-
to the big tall dwarf like we talked about.
Yeah, I'll tell you, don't keep the gentleman long. He's got good work, important work to do. Remember,
Hey, just, making sure our path is straight.
Nova's future prospects rest on the quality of this cart. Do not distract them too much.
Hey,
So who do you want me to start with? Miki and the old boy? Or do you want me to do Shaska? What you're up to?
will you go to Shaska? I gotta run downstairs and grab my dinner real quick.
All right. So Miki took the oldest dwarf on the line. Also possibly the most experienced carpenter within 100 miles into the bar. And what do you do, Shaska? You're muted.
Have these guys just started?
They're basically staging and getting some basic supplies cut.
Okay,
They
so it's
started-
not even like
they
a
started in
break
the morning.
time.
No, it's not a break time at all. No. Their break time's probably dinner
It's
because they're
whatever.
dwarves. They just kind of work all day.
Yeah, it happens.
Little
That's
ants.
fine. We'll move with it. Let people do their stuff. So, I assume, at a game, it's Blava, right? The Blava, I think, is the name of the
Bartender? Or do you
not the
mean
bartender.
Brasta?
Brasta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brusta's
Yes.
gonna be the town hall leader. Blava's gonna be the barkeep.
Gotcha. So, Brasta communicated the overall design, but I thought we would just check in before any major construction happened. Can you explain to me the nature of the project as it was explained to you? Just so nobody's miscommunicating.
Yep. So, an older dwarf male looking guy with gray hair, gray beard, sharp hazel eyes. He does a big sigh and hands his stuff over to another dwarf and kind of gives you his full attention. Marusta, she explained that we are going to reinforce cart, make it protection from arrows slashing, maybe a non-direct giant rock toss level of defense. She mentioned need reinforced harness and attach maybe with chains or some type of metal reinforcement or at least very strong rope for hauling bigger things. Biggest things, really. Said you want a fur-lined cover on top. And mentioned maybe some other design things that we can get into after we did the base reinforcements and see how much room we have. This sound good?
It sounds fairly accurate, yes. And do you have what you need for the job? It looks like you guys have access to quite a bit of material.
We have what we have. Plenty wood around here. We have tools for cutting such things. And small metal reinforcements we can do. But we cannot metal side your cart or anything like this.
Understandable.
But
Definitely not the scope of work requested.
The way we have it described, it's sort of like mix of war wagon and I forget the name. This mobile arrow reinforcement, normally thicker, but yes, this is sort of almost bunker sized, you know.
Exactly.
Because of size, the wood and the mobility, not as thick as palisade or whole log reinforcement, but thick cut like a bare door.
That sounds about right.
Is there anything that you need clarification us about?
What's the road to Aludriea like for a cart like this? If you had to take a guess.
Question.
It will, it should fit most, if not all the way. If you run into any rock slide, you'll have a tricky time. May have to go around. This wagon is wide as entire trail in some spots, I'm sure. But it is somewhat similar to, he just gestures to the road leading out of town, to this dirt trail sort of thing. There will be some mud spots, there will be some inclines, some declines in some of the road. But as long as you don't get hit by rock slide or dragon or bandit or something terrible, this wagon should be able to make the trick. I think more likely that maybe you misturn than anything else.
Understandable. Well, thank you for your insights. There is quite the possibility that we will be hauling some very important cargo from Nova to Aludriea. And
if this keep on the download, then you never know.
Yes.
And he just points around the trees. All sorts of things out in these woods here. Things, some things more natural than others. They might get too curious in our project, maybe even mess with our work.
Okay, that's good to know. Perhaps we can do a follow-up inspection once the work is done, just to be on the safe side.
It will be a feedback process. The Hefling had a word, iterative process on final steps. It's better not to carve intricate corner piece for table if you don't have the legs and the base. And he thinks he's really funny with that joke.
I'm going to give him the old, Yeah. So perhaps we should check in with you in a day or so? Would that be appropriate?
You can check in anytime, but I think base construction, you can see what we've done by the time it comes to dinner. And then maybe we check in first light, and if something needs to be fixed, should be done. But again, we be doing lots of measuring, arguing about which wood to use where, trying to make it good, the foundation,
Excellent. I'm going to leave them to it. They got work to do. I get it, and I'll see if I can get your carpenter returned to work.
It's be much appreciated. But it's your time and not our time, you know?
Yeah, I'm well aware.
And he just gets back to work.
Kim Pan.
Yeah. So, Mickey, when you get the coins handed to you, the 1 stout turns to 3. And are you ordering anything for yourself, Mickey?
Goat's milk.
Okay. They get you some warm goat's milk. Freshly squeezed this lunchtime. And maybe it's the PDFs that have been crashing my computer. I'll find out right now. Nope. Okay. There we go. I'm just checking how much you have added up thus far. So that's 12 silver and just some milk. Okay. So a couple copper. We get food too, or just drink.
I think this is only a drink conversation.
Aye, it's fine. So yes, you ask, what sort of thing look out for around here in these woods?
Aye, what are some of the local legends, I guess you could say, the rumors going around?
Just almost reeling. Oh, there's lots of things we can talk about. Let's see, at the party, you seem to know about Obsidian already. About bandits, things like this. Have you all been inside the Bound Mound, or just on this perimeter like you are now?
Only on the perimeter so far. I think a couple of them went in to find Leroy.
Okay. Well, some things you should think about when in these woods, when in the Bound Mound. And these things, they happen more as you get closer to middle. The closer to the lake. There is this, there are some places around these woods, these hills, where the walls are very thin. Between here and the other worlds. You should be careful to know. Sometimes things show up which are not from here. Sometimes you can step astray and end up somewhere where you did not mean to be. This makes sense?
Yeah, are you talking about like Feywild such, or are you talking like Underdark such?
Yes.
Oh,
And much
good to
more.
know.
Other planes as well. Besides just Feywild. Things sometimes change people when they see them, if they come out. It is a very strange land.
And pardon me for a slight change of topic on still that of the weird magicalness though. We were told that of a wizard is the one that made your boar kind of crazy. What do you know of that one and its brother?
Let me scroll real quick.
His favorite hobby was making telescopes.
He's up there. Get him. No.
That's his name, though. Leroy.
The halfling that's up in the observatory.
Yeah.
Lavoy. I think, right?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. I found it. Okay. Yes. The halfling wizard. There's 2 brothers. They hunting each other. somebody killed somebody. You know how these things go.
Aye.
But we have one of these wizards in our town. He say, ask what kind of problem we have. Zuri hired this man to help accelerate this boar breeding program to. Oh goodness, he has this tale. I'm sure he'd be so excited to tell you about something about unlimited bacon. Someone in the north told him about this. So he going for this magical immortal pig. And this halfling, he say, I can do something about this, make these pigs special, at least. Maybe give him a new breeding stock to play with. You know this meaning?
I get what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, he then collect payment, leave, and the board is to walk out the gate. So we catch them over and over, and then the board get much bigger, and we cannot catch them. They're just little ones, they just walk out the gate.
Yes. I assume you probably don't know how to track this wizard then? None of yous? Or would anyone know how to find him?
No. There's maybe some rangers about. God, I'm picking up your accent now. There's maybe rangers about that you could hire, but nor do we know how nor do we want to track him down. He's just trouble. And if we see their brother, we probably just shoot him through town. Blame it, have a better family.
Do you know the wizards' names? I apologize if you said them already.
These they both have these Zia kind of names. Zadala, Zleava, something like this.
Okay.
They wouldn't stop talking about their idiot brother while they were here.
Are you certain? No, that's probably not the case. Maybe it's just the same person pulling pranks and joking. If they're pranking you with your boar, you ever seen both in the same place?
We've only ever seen one, but only ever claimed to be one, so not sure. If his brother does come through town, though, if these eyes keep working, I am sure I can tell the difference.
Aye, well...
Now that you think of it, they did say that their other brother was chasing them. So, chances are they will come through Nova.
Depending on how far behind they are. When did you say that this wizard came through? How long ago?
It was quite a while. So, either the one has lost the trail, or maybe they have another way of finding them besides just walking in their footprints.
Maybe. Now, I don't mean to ask about your sight, but I've been losing it in somewhat of my left eye recently, and I was wondering if you know anything about little parasects that bite your eyeballs.
Let's see if this old Carpin boy knows about parasites that bite your eyeballs. Natural 20.
Oh.
So, they started appearing in the annals about 3,000 years ago, around the time of Great Cataclysm in these rounds. But there was tales about them before. I think we turned our focus outwards more once because the cork fell. But yes, shining lights, there's more than just these eyeball-eating creatures. There are all sorts of light shining lure, like, I guess, yes, parasitic creatures. And what is it you want to know about it? I know some tales. I've even seen the one who has it.
Yeah, I'd like to know about that, but I was firstly going to ask you about if the name Ginkgo is any kind of point to ya?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Was this a dwarf I should know?
No, he's just a man I met when I got bit by the thingy and started seeing the floopy and not seeing in my eye.
I don't know this Ginkgo.
Okay. Who do you know that's been bit by it? Maybe I could go and have a chat with him.
It's actually my cousin. He's long dead. But I can tell you about some of what he experienced before. Anyways,
Would be appreciated.
he lost vision for a long time. He described eventually seeing strange things, sometimes when stressed or when they drink too much. We think he kind of got hit on the head. That explained the vision loss, the seeing things not there. But he continued to report that he see these things that no one else can see. Eventually, his vision returned. Eventually his vision get better than it was in that eye. He's strange. See further,
Aye.
And at one point he started seeing strange things, like
Squigglies.
that was whole time, but he says he see things that have not happened yet.
Oh,
It's confusing because it's like he say, I seen that before, kind of thing, It's
deja vu.
yes. And
Except, had he seen it before, or did he just see that? Did he ever tell you something and then it happened?
maybe vaguely, but by this time we all decide he just kind of broken,
But did
But-
you think he was broken?
Yes, easier to believe this way. And unfortunately, we don't. He died, yes, and when we found his body, the eye socket was empty.
Was he killed, or did natural causes?
It's crushed by rocks. Unsure if a natural rock slide or something else, but
Do you know about where? If you don't mind, I'd like to go take a look at the area.
yeah, sure, it was more than 50 years ago, but if you go
never know.
into it is far from here. Cross over the mountains towards the lake, and he was actually out surveying, looking for maybe clues of Kestikar. If it's important to you, maybe I ask if I can guide you to where we found the body. But it would be hard to find, but I could try. Where do you want to find it, or where this happened?
Well, I'm just interested in. You said he was seeing things. I'm just interested if maybe I could connect with the spirits in the area. I'm a bit of not talk to his dead body. That's not what I mean.
Do you see these squigglies too, then?
When I drink a special drink and I want to drink it in that area to see if I can see these squiggly things there.
Have you tried looking at them without the drink?
No.
Maybe before he has an aneurysm. Just on the spot.
Hold on. Well, now I'm gonna fucking
Do it. I want to see.
Now I'm gonna
things
try.
happen.
Mickey discovers the squigglies when you look up into the sky.
No, no. When you put your thumbs really hard.
So Miki, walk me through, like, what are you trying to do? What's your, like, monologue? What are you trying to do with your body? What's going on?
I'm just gonna, much like before with my connection to Cass before it went away, instead of opening myself to Cass, I'm going to just open myself to the feeling and the sight I might have felt in my left eye whenever I drank the sake.
Okay. Roll me first a charisma check straight. Woo.
It's gonna be a 22.
Okay. Now you're gonna roll me a con save, and this is your DC for that charisma.
4.
Fuck. So, yeah.
Incredible.
Yep. You, here's what happens.
So I wanted to roll low on that.
Yes.
If that was my DC.
Yes. Your DC was 4 for your 22, so you crushed it. Cool. I'm glad that worked out. So here's the sensation. It's like you've had your left eye closed all day, all week. You've just kept it closed. And there's this kind of like almost cracking open of eyelid feeling as you open your second eyelid. And out of your black eye, your left eye, the vision of where you are and what you are seeing is gone. It is black. And you start seeing those little squigglies flit in and out. But it's like literally half of your vision is as blackness and squigglies. And big squigglies and small squigglies. And they are somewhat interacting with the world. It's almost like you can see where the things in the bar would be and were, and you can confirm it by turning your head as the things are somewhat interacting almost, or almost resting softly, or going around solid objects. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That is happening.
Interesting. Well, have a good day. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna just give Prost. She's the barkeep, or is it
Blava.
Brava?
Blava.
Blava. I'm gonna just give her a full gold coin, or no, because it was 12 silver. I'll give her 2 gold coins.
Flashes gold coins like, nah.
Cool. 2 gold's plenty. Okay. And you just like leave. He sits there and drinks his drinks. As you exit, Shaska standing outside.
Shaska, I can see the squiggles.
Let the dwarf get back to work.
I can see the squiggles.
Yes, the squiggles. Yeah, I saw them too. We drank.
No,
Let's go.
not the drink right now. In this eye, does it look
There was
funny?
only one cup of that sake.
No, I didn't drink it.
Shaska, his eye is black. Not like an eyeball that's black. It's just darkness.
God, it's what happened to you? Who hurt you? I'm like holding his face.
It's
No
I'm
one-
looking at his eyeball.
The dwarf just. Sorry, go ahead.
It's literally like just complete absence of light where there would be an eye.
This is that new thing. This is that new thing that young kids like you do. You put ink in your eye. It's not worth it.
That's not what
This
they
is
did.
not a fad.
He was telling me
This is
he had a
permanent.
brother that got bit in the eye like me, and he saw the squiggles like I see when I drink the drinky drink. And he said, have you ever just tried to look at them? And then I was like, oh, no, I haven't. So let me just try to look at them. And here I am not being able to see shit out my left eye.
Sounds too simple.
Have you tried to do it?
No,
Try.
no. I want black eyes. I like my eyes.
Is there anything interesting outside that I can see squiggle-wise?
Roller perception at disadvantage right now.
Where are you? There you are. 12.
Okay. So what would Miki find interesting? I guess that's my first question. Like, is there anything particular you're keeping an eye out for, or are you just looking for cool shit?
Just anything cool happening. Nothing like particular. Just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is happening with my eye?
Yep. So there's like this glance far away down. You can see that river of light. And then as you're looking around, there is a huge, like, It's almost like a dragon centipede in the sky, like just gobbling up other squiggles, just consuming them.
Sky whale, centipede.
How far?
High up in the clouds, just gobbling them up. It's huge, like way bigger than those dragons.
One memento.
Okay. So Miki's
I'm going
just
up.
staring up.
Damn, lost him. Rip.
All right.
Gonna get a look at the area around. Krung.
Okay.
You just yeet and disappeared. Yeah. Like, well, I told him to not drink the sake again. He never listens. I'm just like talking to anyone who just like looks at him that just take off like a fucking Elon Musk rocket.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's pretty good sake.
So yep, you start floating up into the sky. How high do you want to go in feet?
So it's what, 60 feet a second?
I
20 feet?
believe it's
A
20 feet around. So like
20 times 100, right?
Yep. 2,000 feet.
Do I float to the ground softly
If the spell hasn't stopped.
Cool, I will go up for 5 minutes and come down for the next 5 minutes.
Cutting it very close, sir. All right.
What could
So-
possibly go wrong?
So, yep, you start climbing up into the sky like a deep diver slowly descends into the ocean. And it's a strange feeling, like, there's no ground that you're leaving in your left eye. It's only your right eye that the ground is leaving, and the clouds are getting closer. It's just more and more of these weird squiggles, and like as you keep going up, you're seeing different types and different interactions. Some fast, some slow, some massive. Some of them like bump into you, but you don't feel it. You see it with your eye, like they bump and like bounce off and go around. Some of them try to like hold on to you as you go up. Some successfully do, like riding you.
Like lampreys.
Yep, just like lampreys.
I hate lampreys.
As you're going up vaguely towards where this massive thing is, it's so big, it's almost like it's not changing size yet with you going up. But I'll come back to that unless there's anything else specifically you're doing. You're just kind of going up, trying to get a closer look.
Whenever I'm on my way down, I'm going to survey the area.
Okay. Shuska? Anything? Are you just like, okay.
I'm waiting for him to get down, just kind of hanging out.
Okay. Cool.
Is there any... I haven't seen any Yanti in the town, have I?
No.
Okay.
They mentioned that they have passed through in the past, but like not super commonly, and you can infer that they've always been slavers. Thus far.
Yeah, there's no one I really want to like actively start a conversation with other than the halfling in the observatory.
Okay.
At this time.
Yeah, the only other thing you might be interested, there's still some like patrons hanging out in the bar, just kind of chilling. If you wanted to poke them for info, you can. That's kind of the other thing you might want to do, but it's up to you.
I would probably just ask them a similar question if they've seen anyone like me pass through these parts recently,
Yeah. It's like maybe 6 months back we had slave band come through. Kind of spooky, but they bought and sold goods, and as far as we know, no dwarven slaves, so it went fine. They work for the big one, so we know they're around here. Just not right in our town very often,
Understandable. I can understand that you would be keen to observe for any dwarven slaves, but
We have some agreements, but you know how those go.
do. What about any elven slaves?
Yes,
Chance.
absolutely.
How good's your memory?
Better with faces than names. Wait, what do you want?
I would ask, what about a Grugesh? Have you ever seen one of them?
If I can even remember what a Grugesh is as a GM here. Oh yes, those these the wild elf, the feral elf, yes.
That's the term. Yes.
Super derogatory.
Yes.
Maybe a long time ago we have some of them come through, but interestingly, they're going to the arena, not back towards the big one. You know.
Yeah. I'll slide him some coin. Be like, what else can you tell me?
About what? Slap. Like coins are gone.
Yeah. The direction of the slavers, the folks. Any notable Yanti that you recognize? Any unique traits?
With these feral elves, yes.
That's,
you mean this
yes.
this band? Unique features. They were not half and half. You're probably most unique Yanti I've seen myself. With more scaly all over, the shimmer shine through the skin, kind of like patchy, you know. Similar hue to you, but more yellow on the front, more green on the back. They had these almost red eyes, like pink and red eyes, and the slit eyes, you know.
I do.
And they even had a bit of a tail. Not all of them, I think, have tails. Right? Not all of you have tails.
Some of us are more snake than other.
But yes, they had the resting bitch face as well. Always look like ready to kill you. Very uncompromising, maybe sadistic. They were not nice to these slaves, to say it gently.
It is rarely a behavior exhibited.
But it was years ago, and but yes, they're heading to the big arena. I'm sure you know about it, given your heritage.
I have been on my way to the arena myself before, yes.
Then you know. But is there anything else I can help you with? I know lots, many things.
As a player, I don't really. Nothing's coming to mind that I feel like asking, so.
Cool. Not fishing for rumors at present. No
Not fishing.
worries. So,
nah.
Mickey, you are very high in the sky, sir. You wanted to call it real close and do the 1,000 feet up, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if worse comes to worse, I got my minor levitate also. I'll throw down on my way down.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you are very high up, 1,000 feet up. You're like roughly 5 of these sequoias in the air. You are looking for what specifically while you're up here?
While I'm going up, I'm trying to see how close I can get to the big thing.
Okay. trying to yeah, I mean it's more than 1,000 feet up. But it does look a lot bigger now than you're here. Trying to remember exactly where like cloud level would be in the summer and this kind of a thing. It's basically the lowest layer of clouds. Which that could be. Anyways, so how? I'll say you get a few hundred feet away. Just that works. It's not directly above you either, but let's just call it that. Is there any type of interaction you're trying to do with this thing? What's your plan?
When you a few hundred? No, I can't do that. I want to study it, I guess. Try and get a lay of what it is, and it's fucking fascinating.
Okay.
So I just want to
just roll me perception into nature, real quick. Combo.
Disadvantage?
No, just normal. You're up here just looking at it.
That is an 18 and a 14.
Okay. So yeah, it's like this combination of a huge centipede, a huge snake, and a huge manta ray all in one. It's got what appears to be chitinous segmented body, like piece going back. Sort of these wing-like things on its face, and a huge open maw with pincers and legs and arms. It also has thousands of little feet kind of dancing across the air. And it is eating anything that can fit in its mouth. Little things are trying to get out of the way of it, but it's just mowing through the sky. Is there anything else you're trying to get detail-wise about this thing?
Nope, just something I can talk to Ginkgo about and have a good kind of talk to him whenever he finds me, if he finds me.
Okay.
And then on my way down, I'd like to get a lay of the land and just take notes as I'm floating down. Just pull out my little notebook as I'm floating down and just start writing what different landmarks and things I can see in the distance.
Okay. So while you're up there, you can obviously see to the west, the mountain height goes up a bit more on the other side of the hills. You can get a glimpse into the Bound Mound. It's this huge mountainous valley. Again, it's not like mega snow-capped. There are some bigger hills with snow caps, but most of it's just high hills. A huge lake in the middle of this plain as well. And then to the east, that's this kind of just gradually sloping downward into the valley. I said the day was super clear. You can even you're pretty sure where Reverend is out there. Relatively even where your homeland is, your little home farm. If you look out that way far enough, you can just imagine where it is, kind of a thing. But yeah, it's winding valleys and hills. You can see lots of scattered little lakes throughout the hills and lands as well, where the water gets trapped and doesn't flow out so freely. There's several big rivers around. It's very, very natural where you are. You see forest and hills, but that there are towns and things. There's smoke billowing on all sorts of areas. Sometimes just little streams here and there, some more to the south.
Anything super notable besides massive landmarks? If I start looking, we said we're heading south is where the next city is that we would be taking this thing to. Correct. That if we took the job, yep. Anything to the south that is super stand outish that I should make note of.
Super noticeable. I mean, there's one major river in the path. You could probably assume there's a bridge or something, since this is a tradeway, but there is one big river you can kind of see just cutting through the land, going towards the east. There is one almost lonely mountain-looking thing kind of due south to you guys. It's a little separate from the range. I guess, is there any other types of features you're looking at?
Any kind of encampment stuff that I can see, or
There's plenty. There's a lot of little smoke coming up all over the place. There are lots of, you can tell just based on the kind of size of the smoke coming up in the various areas. Some of it might be like little industrial dwarf towns like where you're in. You know, there's some smoke billowing here in Nova. Maybe some smaller villages, maybe some little hunting lodges. That sort of stuff.
And then lastly with that,
and I'll give you one other thing. I guess the highest mountain going south that you can see, it actually has a snow-capped peak and maybe even a tower on top of it. You can see it really, really far away, like 200 miles almost due south. It's on one of the, it's like the highest nearby peak. It's definitely the highest peak southward. Does that make sense?
okay. Yeah. Any squiggles of notice in that direction?
Dude, there's squiggles everywhere. And the problem is also they're flitting in and out. Like they're not, their opacity isn't 100, if you know what I mean. They kind of come in and out. And there's so much kind of noise with your left eye. It's not like you're seeing super far with it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You can kind of see like, you know, roughly things coming in and out. It's really hard to discern when it's more than like 1,000 feet away what the hell you're looking at. Is that a cloud of these things? Is that a swarm? Is that just one weird big one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most interesting is definitely the huge centipede thing. And every time you let the river of light down below you come into your vision, you do have a pang of like, ooh, look at that. Would you just look at it?
But yeah, then whatever it is, I'll just take note of it, relay it all to Shaska when I hit the ground.
Okay.
Of all the notable places. And then, yeah.
Okay, if I roll this one more time in a row, I'm going to be very confused. Okay. 4 in a row is fine, I guess. I rolled the same number 4 times in a row. So, on a d20. Cool. That is your relatively incident-free, as far as you know, experience going up and looking around. As you're going up and then start going down, some of the critters that were riding you kind of like, maybe they're bummed out. They try and like leave, like, oh fuck, he's going down. I thought we were going up. What is this shit? And then you have some other ones like attaching to you, trying to ride you down. There's almost a group of them kind of trying to obscure themselves behind you, relative to the giant centipede snake ray. So
They are friends now.
You have a little crowd of squiggles hanging out with you.
I'll wave at them.
Okay. You wave at them, and actually more than one of them, several of them start like just kind of grabbing onto your hand and things, but you can't feel it. You can just see it. Like even squishing into your hand a little bit and like playing with your fingers and dancing around, and one of them like goes on there and lands on your wrist and then like extrudes some weird tendrily slimy things around your hand and like brings it back in and exudes and extrudes over and over. So you're just having weird little critters do weird critter things on you as you float down.
Neat.
Yes. All right. And then you eventually float down. Definitely got some onlookers from the town. Like, what the fuck is he doing up there? Is he a dragon? Like,
yes,
he had purple eyes.
Grandma. Go
Yeah. See any hawks while you're up there?
Oh, there's tons of birds and hawks. In fact, this was going to be my transition. A falcon comes flying out of one of the windows, one of the observatory windows, not the main door, but just comes out of one of the holes and comes flying around and just gains height fast, spots a bird and goes after the bird. And you just hear birds in the vicinity start screaming as this falcon is now hunting.
Is it like while I'm on the ground or while I'm still floating
down? You're floating down and you see this going on.
I think this is concentration. Let me make sure. It is. I cannot do it.
I mean, you can.
Oh wait, I can. I didn't know that rich speak with animals isn't concentration. Cool, yeah. I'll just throw that out there and just be like, "What are you doing?
So you start.
Why'd you break out of the down hole? Whatever it is, the mound down."
Roll performance real quick.
I think I'm great at this.
Ooh,
19.
that's not bad. You got it by 1.
Oh shit!
All right. You asked like, "What are you doing here?" Or, what was the question again? What are you doing out here?
What are you doing? Why'd you break out of the mound down? Whatever it is. 'Cause
Hungry hunt.
Freaky would not. Hungry hunt. Oh.
And you see this thing like a jet, just, like keeping on the tail of this crow, just fuck this crow up in the air. Just
Watch out!
the crow's just like, and then the falcon like carries it. They're starting to fly away. Anything else you want to say to it?
Wait, come back! I want to be your friend.
Hungry babies.
Oh, come back after you feed them.
And they're just
I'll
gone.
give you some food.
They are gone. They may have heard you, but they are gone.
Oh, babies. Okay. Nice. That's a fun piece of information that you could share with the halfling when we
Yes.
see him later tonight. That's really cool. Nice.
And then eventually you do land, and there's like a crowd of dwarven children around you now.
Dude, the kids here love us, man.
Yes, I'm your god.
The girl that was given a dagger is not here. They may be hiding, but maybe some of the other kids that were terrorizing your cart may be mixed into this crowd of 12 kids. There's even a halfling kid and a gnome kid in this crowd.
I don't want to take away from anyone else because I've been doing a lot.
It's fine. They're going to be popping out the door in a second.
Okay, I just want to be like, where's the one that had the knife? I owe her a coin.
They all look around. Who?
Player doesn't remember, but this was only yesterday, so I feel like
Mila.
yeah, Mila remember. Mila. Mila.
She's busy.
Real sleepy.
We can get to that coin though and bring it to her.
No. You bring her to me, and then maybe I'll give you a coin.
Give me the coin first.
No, that's not how this works.
That hard.
If you want to find Mira, you got to give me a coin.
How about a knife?
Didn't you promise Mira a coin, but you gave her a knife instead?
No, I gave her a knife first and told her if she did her job well, she'd get a coin.
Dude,
but then
this
she never
kid's
came
over
back
here.
to collect her coin.
He's like, I know your tricks, charlatan.
I take coin only. Just like the most arms crossed girl dwarf. If I wanted a knife, I'd have me da make one.
Hey, but is it a elven knife?
Why would I want an elven knife? To snap the first time I try to pry something open or stab someone in the skull.
Yeah.
That was just a test. I like ya. Shaska, can I have a silver coin?
By the way, Belanos and Rune, you come out of the reinforced door Zuri lets you through, and you come out to Miki asking Shaska for money surrounded by children.
Are you arming children again?
I'm trying to find the one I owe a gold coin to because I gotta pay my debt, but they all said that she's busy right now, and I said the first one to bring her to me gets either a coin or a knife, and they all like, oh, well, I need a coin first.
So your answer to paying a debt is more debt? Yeah,
This is why you don't get coin.
Yeah, exactly, Shaska. Yeah.
And then they address
First
the whole
National
group.
Bank of Shaska is closed, and I close the bag.
You're a guest here in my town, and I require payment for courier services.
It's enough, child. Be gone.
Be gone.
Roll a light intimidation check with these guys. You are a
Dude.
spooky auntie.
Is it even light? Because, like, My reputation probably precedes me.
Do
I
it.
feel like
just roll it.
the light is you
I'm
trying to
I'm
soften this.
gonna roll the fucking bardic
Fuck.
die.
20 fucking 3.
Against their 6.
Be gone.
You see her like try to like front and try, and then just like, let's go, and they all just
Nope.
scatter.
Come on.
Scatter the roaches.
Oh, I think
Nice.
I've heard a saying. Skylar
And-
roaches.
They rolled an 18 on the die for hiding this time instead of the nat 20, but that's still really goddamn high. Bellanos
got
knows
their,
where some
got
of them
their
are. They all
Some
got
of
their
us is
little
like,
hidey
not
holes.
bad.
Yeah.
I was never a popular kid in my town, so that felt kind of nice.
Oh, there are better ways to go about
Bellanos,
it.
Miki's eye is a black shadow.
Oh dear.
He says it's the squigglies. It's not hurting him. I don't know.
Hey,
Kids putting
I just
ink in their
opened
eye
it.
these days.
finally.
Okay. Well,
There's a giant centipede in the sky. Bigger than
Yes,
4
yes,
dragons.
Mickey, the giant centipede in the sky. Let's get you tucked in.
Okay, Grandpa.
Should we check on Stetcha? I haven't seen him since last night.
sure, and that'd be a good idea.
Maybe.
Also, we got a task for the BotA DnD, if you're up for it. The
Cool.
halfling folk, we've plans to be meeting them later this evening. Melano says some things to show, but he's got a snake and could be using your expertise, Shaska. And he's a bird and doesn't know the name. Hunted hawk of sorts.
They're feeding their babies.
As babe. That might have explained why it went out the door so quick.
Hey,
Tell the
I saw-
the halfling. He said if you want to, you're welcome to come have a chat with the bird.
Oh, I already did. They said they never said they'd be back or not, but they're feeding their babies.
It's nodding.
Sounds like
Okay.
that's useful information for the creature. For the
halfling.
halfling.
The
Right.
creature. You
The
smoke
halflings
creature.
are creatures.
Halfling named
okay.
Lavoy. Yes.
I found out a little information on this bound mound. If you'd like to hear it.
Sure, I would. What'd you find out?
There are places in the bound mound that are planar, extra planar, and are pathways to extra planar places.
Oh, like that hole Shaska stuck his head in.
Shaska stuck his head in a hole.
At the boar wallow.
Hey,
Oh,
let
maybe.
down a slope. There was a lot of mud. It was pretty dark. Like
I don't know. Is that dwarf come outside yet?
That
The big-
dwarf is inside drinking.
He's in there drinking if you want to ask him yourself. I didn't really ask about that. I was asking more about the wizards and such. Apparently, if we stay in town for long, we might be able to catch his brother, because he's apparently chasing the wizard that put the spell on their boar here, and they're all threatening to shoot him.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Do we want to be sticking around that long?
I thought we had a job, so I figured we'd probably wait until they're ready for the job, and the cart might take a bit.
We could be seeing.
On top of that, the dwarf also had a cousin that got bit in the eye like me, that died 50 years ago but started seeing the future. And squiggles. Like when you drink the drinky drink.
Was he killed?
Yeah.
Fire?
So when you say he died,
Was it
50
because
years
of the
ago.
thing in his eye?
No, it was a rock slide.
oh, yeah, but everybody in tandem. Oh, wait. So he
but,
saw the future, but he didn't see the rock slide.
That's what I was saying. I was saying I guess he didn't see that one coming. I didn't want to say it to his face, so that's
Guess he was blinking.
But
Like,
he
yeah.
said that after he's done with the card or while the card's being worked on, if he wanted this to take us that way, I was thinking it might be beneficial for myself. I don't want to take the whole group, and separate us if it's not something we think would be good for all of us. Take us to the other side of the bound mound and see where his body went, and maybe I could figure out what's wrong with my eye. but I don't want to sidetrack us, just for me.
Now that's real nice of you, but something that's good for one of us is usually good for the rest.
I
And
agree.
you have a way of stirring up trouble, so I don't want to let you go and out by yourself.
Oh, that wasn't the plan. I was figuring we'd come back through here at some point. Maybe we could just go then.
Hmm.
Hoping he's still alive and seeing, but his days seem numbered.
If it means figuring out what's going on with that eye of yours.
You really think you'll learn something? The information just sounds so old.
I just, I saw the things binding that of Iron. I don't remember his name. The old dwarf from Kazdakan,
Thorgar Ironhelm.
Urgar.
Orgar and
It's a
I
good
saw
point.
the things
Aztekar.
around his body that were holding him in place and the magical and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking that, someone else who had this kind of connection and seemed to master it in a way, go into his place of death, there might still be some remnants of it.
Well, what if you have another thing jump in your other eye, though?
I'll close that eye.
All right.
Seems foolproof.
Hey, it's an idea of where we can go, I know we didn't have really set plans, but something I'm interested in, to say the least.
It is on the way south.
That's what he was saying, yeah. It is south, so maybe he could
We
just
have
hop in, but then
plans.
we'd have 2 old people with us. Can we protect 2 old people?
Well,
Not depends on how well those old people build our cart.
Thorgar acquitted himself fairly decently during our last encounter.
Did he?
we right proper beat the shit out of one of those bandits. You see the pile of metal that's in there? That wasn't me work. Wishing I could say it was.
I think he ate a lot of oats and
I thought
drank
it was.
as
I
a
thought it
young
was
dwarf.
Killua stepping on someone. That was him.
Yeah, actually less damage from Killua stepping on the other guy. That half plate's the one I'm gonna be making me own.
Oh,
Yeah, Thorgar hits like a moving wagon.
that's interesting. I didn't realize he was that strong. Anyways, though,
Well, do you see his eye hander?
that's fair. I did see this Vihander. I guess I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. I wasn't in my right mind then.
It was probably right. You're with that Haas fella.
Hey, still a good friend. You love something, you let it go.
Sure. So, where are we off to? We got a bit before night.
Well, we can go talk with that dwarf if you wanted to. He's old, so he seems to know a lot. And I know you were saying you were wanting to learn a bit more about the area.
Oh, the area and some of the Dargans.
The cart's being worked on. Shaska, how'd that go? Do they got the right plan?
Yes, things are proceeding according to schedule, as long as we do not task the carpenters any more than absolutely necessary, which means no more.
Shaska, if I'm gonna be asking about the big scalies, do you want to come with? You got a way of wording things that people seem to like hearing. I just want to learn a little more about.
Who do you plan to ask?
Whoever's around. Sure, I could buy somebody a drink.
I guess we can see how it goes, but the reaction that you got in the general store, avoid questions that may pose that type of reaction. For example, it would not behoove you to make threats idle or active to any dragon.
Okay,
Looks at all the birds in the sky.
no threats. What about praise?
Praise?
What about trying to find one of them? What about their dealings?
That you should be wary asking pointed questions about creatures of that nature. They They can do terrible things to you and your family, and I'm just asking you to be cautious. It is difficult to trust the forest here is all. Perhaps you should take a more subtler approach.
What do you have in mind?
Start with maybe asking if anyone's seen a green dragon. Instead of just pounding down the first door that you see and interrogating somebody.
No, not an interrogation. A round of drinks and friendly conversation.
You know, yeah, just see how it goes.
Jessica's like, why are we being run out of town? What did you say? No.
I don't think that you should try to make this conversation about any modicum of admiration for the green dragons, both for our sake and
No.
for yours.
No, the bronze ones.
Okay, then you can stick to bronze. It
They
seems
seem-
like a pretty bronze-safe place. But
Stick to
they
bronze.
probably still don't actively want dragons here because you know what escalating threats are.
Oh, the halfling was saying they had a couple spooks, some big flying creatures coming around here. They take it very seriously.
Yep.
Not gonna be asking for trouble, just
asking about trouble, right?
I'm asking about trouble.
Ah, yes.
You see, away with words you have.
Give it a shot.
We're just gonna skip off towards.
You
the
can
bar.
always frame it in the lens of our traveling companion can be mistaken for those that might cause bronze dragons concern, but we are in good standing with them.
This
As
Rune is kind of scampering off towards the bar, like
yeah,
one of our companions. Yep.
All right, so just Rune going to the bar.
Join me.
might as well all go.
Is there
Sure,
anything
I'll go
else you
with,
guess want to be doing besides that?
Join
guess.
me.
I want to go to the observatory. But that's just me. But like, I also know that Rune has been wanting to
Get some
talk
rumors.
to people and get some
Mhm.
rumors. So I'm cool with it.
So let's
Yeah,
do a bit of
we can-
rumors, and then we can skip to dinner time.
That's what I was thinking.
Sound
I
good?
like that.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So Rune, you go in. Actually, you all go in, but Rune's like, boom, 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 like all excited, stomping their way up through this bar.
Yeah.
And as you're going, the couple patrons that Shashka was talking to, I believe you went and asked a little bit of questions to a couple of them, and then the old dwarf finishing their drink. So you get the idea, Rune, that the folks in here are kind of wrapping up, but you do hear voices upstairs over the balcony, so I'm assuming you'll head up that way. Sound about right?
Sure. Yeah.
How fast are you heading? Like, are you super excited, manically, like going through this bar, or are you like, "Hi, Blava," kind of thing, or are you like, "Phew."
Rune would probably kind of look around, see what people are eating. Wait, like hi, Blava.
There's only empty plates downstairs,
Then Rune's not eating anything.
but there is upstairs.
Perfect. Yeah, Rune would give a brief moment. Hello, some courtesy.
There's a message here for Gekrmiki. I don't know anybody named like Gekrmiki.
Me companion.
Oh, that's me.
who's in the doorway. Mickey, you got a message.
That's me. Hello.
Here. It's written
Oh,
and tied up.
Oh.
he, Shaska. So, Cass is the one that kind of helped me read things.
Like you can read now. She's just audible.
I can't really read things unless I'm using a spell.
It's nothing to be concerned about or ashamed of. Can I read?
Hey, how
You
could
tell
I
me,
write
Shaska.
here?
It's actually up to you how well you're legible. You're
Why do you-
literate, legible.
Why'd you turn to Shaska first?
Well, Shaska just has that dad energy.
You know,
Towards
You're
the
from the
whole group.
jungle.
Belenos is just a corner coon
know,
right now, just so you know. Like,
Really,
absolute
with-
corner coon vibe.
Dude,
Books hanging off of him, but that's fine.
Bellatus literally
Shit.
came from...
I'm sorry.
Pretty zealous and religious, and yeah, I would at least know how to read religious texts. So,
So
but
you're only
it's
going
probably
to read
not
in
like
sermon.
super. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll an intelligence save for like how adept I am at reading. All right, so I'm not bad.
Knowledge is power.
18, yeah. That's not, that is
you
not bad.
I was gonna get through this like first couple sentences. Does it seem important?
Yeah, it's a letter addressed to Gekker Miki by Stitcha, written in common.
Yeah.
And the first lines say, "Make sure Rune isn't reading this."
Okay.
Rune's
All right.
looking directly at both of you as Shaska probably like, eh.
Their eyes
Okay.
dart over to her.
Yeah. They probably do. You get the side snake eye.
That's
I'm just gonna turn a little bit.
yeah, Rune's got a 2. Like,
Rune,
that's me.
how you doing?
Oh. Not so bad in yourself.
I don't know. Let me just like quick through the letter real quick.
Yeah, so
silently.
you're making that awkward small talk. You're not actually paying attention to the conversation just to buy some space.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So
No.
so the letter is I'll give you the gist of it. It's a thank you to Gekker Miki for making sure they got to town safely and for having a real heart-to-heart. It's a plead to not let Rune see this letter and that they hope they never have to see that monster thing ever again. And they're still not sure if they're a man or a dwarf or what, but they have... they suspect they might be something more akin to a werebear that hasn't transformed yet.
Please don't you let that fucking creature see it.
There's notes in there about they're sorry they couldn't hang out and have more time with them now, but that they hope to see you again. They mention that they're going south to what's that town zone? Klavna something. If you know what I mean. I'll scroll up here. Kilvgren. They're heading south to Kilvgren because, thanks to you, Miki Notgek, and some of your friends, but mainly thanks to you, you have given them the greatest clue that they could bring back to Obsidian as possible. They overheard that Thorgar was heading south, though they are not supposed to know that. No one's supposed to know that. Be careful. But please come find me in Kilvgren. Otherwise, I hope we see each other again. And you would make an excellent addition to Obsidian. It's such a cool club. You should totally join. If we do join, I will officially tell them that it's thanks to you that we have found this clue. If I can find it again.
Well, at least
I had a
he's not
good long talk with
completely
Thorgar,
incompetent.
and they told me much about the Lost City that I'm hoping we can use to find it.
I can
Cool.
see the wanderlust in his like candlelit eyes writing.
Exactly, just like, oh, yes.
Like, all right,
Um,
early 20s dwarf.
Yeah, basically that's what Stetcha is like a 22-year-old dwarf who's like got his internship and like a paid internship for the first time in his life with a bandit group. And yeah. But it's very friendly towards you, Gekker Miki. It's like, find me, bro. Nice. We got this. find me in Kivgrind. Otherwise, join Obsidian, and we'll meet each other again. Just
P.S.
lose that rune character if you can, please. That's the gist of the letter.
Really funny. But
Shashka just read it. Shashka hasn't decided whether or not to share it.
Oh.
So I'm just going to look at the letter, look at everyone, and just... This letter is actually pretty personal from a very big fan of Gekker Mickey. Would you please give us a moment? I'd like to read this to you in private, Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you both upstairs. Reading's not really me thing.
So, Rune, you stomp up.
Yeah.
Shashka, roll me a stealth. And then it's up to you if you guys want to include Belanos in it or not.
I guess that's up to Gek.
Code Raccoon.
I will lower my register.
Damn. He's got that
Damn.
snake whisper. Dare I say it?
Cool. So 17 stealthy wealthies, and then Belnos, you said you went up with Rune.
Yeah, I'll just.
Okay.
I'll.
He's still here.
Something's happening here.
He hears it
Also,
anyways. No.
I feel slighted.
There was a bond between Geknut Miki and Stitcha, even though, yes, it's not quite fair how they rolled interestingly. And they're in their dwarven 20s, which means they're short-sighted. So,
Yeah.
anyways, you get the message, Geknut Miki. Make sense?
Did you just read all that to me?
Yeah, and then I'll hand you the letter itself.
Ooh.
It's even got a little drawing, like at the end. It's not the best drawing of the little, like, the lake and the bound mound and the circle. The colors aren't there.
Secret symbol.
They like tried to crosshatch the different colors that should be there, and even like did a little line: blue,
Aw.
white.
Aren't we going to Kilgrim?
Little stick figures holding hands.
Right.
Isn't Kilgrim the town that would take us to that job?
Aye.
Well, I guess I've got to chase him down, Shaska. I don't know
He's
what
the
it
one
is.
that got away.
Oh my
I
god.
love him. I don't know what it is.
It's so good Rune's not here right now.
It's like, what about me?
Rune sneezes upstairs.
Oh, Rune. I'm just gonna like put a big hand. Well, it's not big hand, but I'm gonna put a Shaska hand on your shoulder, Gek, and Mickey, and be like, "Find what's important to you. Find who's important to you, and never let go." You know. And I'm like probably gonna like be absent-mindedly squeezing your shoulder like as hard as I can.
Ow. Oh. We've got to find Stitcher then.
Shaska's like, he's like looking past you,
Oh.
and he's like,
Well, Darren's more important, and he's who we have to find
Glossy-eyed.
first, but Stitcher's right here, right now, and I can get him, and then I can find me Da.
and he shakes out of it. The moment's gone.
If you did use your snaky hand, you probably have some holes in your shoulder, Miki, with those sharp, scaly black nails in the snake hand.
I'm just mending on my jacket.
Just mending, trying to keep the blood off of it. Like, you need someone with prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's the one that cleans clothes.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigiridoo, yes.
My
Okay.
favorite.
So, message has been given. You have your letter. And once you guys are done reading that in the corner, and I know you both have, well, a lot of you've talked to Brosta already, but I think she's going to be wanting to talk to you all again soon.
Did the old dwarf leave, Thorgar? Or is he still in the room as far as you know?
I want you to, you must be remembering wrong. There is no one named Thorgar that came through here. We would have known. I know every person who comes in through the Golden Cup in Nova.
Rune's not there.
What name do we put him up under? Thorgar?
No.
We put him under Get.
No, I don't think that's the vibe he's given off.
Yeah.
She's
That's what I
like,
thought.
"Don't you fucking bring that here? We have no association."
Just
Got it.
Yep. Good. Brosta, I'm
Good to
sure
know.
will want to talk to you about that.
Okay. Good to know. Thorgar's dead.
Not sure if best to warn your friends or maybe just not bring it up so they don't overthink it. You decide.
What is Mom gonna say?
And she kind of gestures for you to go upstairs and join your buddies.
Yeah.
Do you want me to bring
Okay.
anything up?
Oh,
No, not for me.
I'll pass.
Okay. Well, you still have the room till tomorrow. And you guys end up heading upstairs. So, Rune, you look around and it's lunchtime. A lot of these people are just trying to like eat in peace. But you do catch the accidental, like, direct eyesight with two dwarven ladies sitting
fucked up.
near the balcony. And it's that, like, fuck, he's coming this way. No. And they like, try to look down, but they make the mistake of glancing back up. So you're heading their way. The one that's kind of sitting more oriented towards you, they've got kind of a more square face, thick red hair, dark hazel eyes, nice big wavy chops. She's wearing kind of nicer clothing, although they are dirty for being in the town. And she's got a kind of feisty demeanor and I guess a feisty appearance, like if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
The other one sitting next to them, really, really classically beautiful dwarven woman. She's got tangled white hair and bright gray eyes. She's past her youth for sure, but you can just tell looking at her back in the day, she probably like caused some major drama between
for
some
sure.
powerful dwarves.
She still does her hair up like that.
Yep,
Like
exactly.
You're not, it's great.
And yeah, she's got kind of again some nice, well-made clothing. It's not very exquisite, but it's fine and sturdy. And you can see kind of glinting off her hip in the noon sunlight. There's like some kind of vials just hanging off her hip on a belt.
Okay.
And assuming you make your way over and like awkwardly scoot a table up against their table, as was custom last night.
I am now.
I'm just trying to move it along.
Perfect.
And there you go. So you do the scoot, drag 4 chairs up towards their table, sit down next to one of them, and what do you do, Rune and Balanos? What do you do?
You both know like he be knowing the what's what in town. New here ourselves, gonna be staying a few nights. Looking to make some conversation during the downtime.
You be buying us some drinks with that?
What do you want to be drinking?
Well, the nicer the thing to let my tongue, the smoother the words will flow.
Ah, well said. And what about for ye? You got a
I'll see
special
what you
drink
buy
like,
her
or-
first, and then we'll be getting to mine.
Well, I can't not recommend the turnip wine enough.
You
Oh,
get
me
these
name-
looks like the kitty drink.
The kitty drink, yeah! Did they put in sippy cups? No. The name's Rune, and gestures to the crew.
Well, my name's Dobra, and this is Sika. Dobra being the fiery-haired one. Sika
Nice.
being the white-haired one. And you're Belanos. And yep, we met last night.
Lovely to see you again.
So you gonna be ordering me drinks or what?
I could be taking care of it. Hold down the table. He slaps Belanos again.
They just shout down another round.
There you go.
Paying on Rune. And there's no shout back, so drinks may or may not be coming. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this over with. We're having a nice, peaceful lunch up here, watching the weird drow. And up comes the drow and Joshka.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you're just in time. They're going to be joining us. Get a real close look.
What's the can I insight on these people that Rune has cornered?
Sure.
Just so I know
do a
what
body-
I'm walking
Order
into.
them.
Do a body language check. Go for it.
Your body language
That
is defending.
is an 18.
Nice. Yeah, they look irritated, but like they're calming now that there's the idea of drinks on the way. You did hear the shout for another round as you're coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's
I'm-
like a reluctant, okay, tourists kind of vibe.
I'm gonna shout down and another order of and whatever like the go-to fried finger food would be, like the equivalent of fries or like wing zings.
Nice. There you go. Just
Like
we're
just,
sitting in
In
chat.
this town,
on the
it's
same
actually
tab.
it's honey braised boar ribs is what people eat like French fries here. They just
All right.
pick up the bone and
Do
rip the
too.
meat off.
Damn, take me there.
Yeah.
I finger food. Fuck.
Gotta speak the language, Rune. I just kind of like mutter to myself.
Now we're talking. So, and they both look at each other and they just do like the "Yep, we're doing this." And so, what do you want to know about the town of Nova? Rune awkwardly pausing.
Yeah,
six-
Rune like stumbles over a few words.
I wasn't ready for it to be receptive to my question.
Yeah.
They normally just kick me out. No.
Wow, I didn't expect to get this far. Well, I suppose wondering about some of the trade that's coming through the town, relations, things to be watching out for in the region. Can't not answer with less than 3 questions at once.
Okay.
Rune.
I lost their names. Where did they go? There they are.
Dobra
Got it.
and
I was going to
Sika.
put them in chat for you
Dobra.
guys. Is Dobra in the Sika?
Holy shit, I actually got that right.
Um,
Didn't get that one right.
Okay. There's a lot of questions. Can you ask something more specific?
Rune's gonna look at Shaska, right?
Um,
And then look back at the group.
I mean, this big news that everyone knows. You want this kind of thing?
The game, Alu. What do you want to know?
Yeah. I am looking to learn more about the Lincoln. What do you know about the bronze dragons in the region?
They're fierce warriors, honorable, lawful, good allies, terrifying enemies. They patrol the western shore, the western wood, and they protect our skies from threats. They're all under the Great One, Nodris, protector of these lands. Warlords, you could call them. Maybe big reason why the humans haven't made a big move for these hills.
I see. And do the dragons have any ties or are they really just kind of a wild force coming and going as they please? Any faction, something that big, you think they'd have a faction or some sort of influence in one of the towns?
They certainly have influence. I wouldn't call it a faction, though you could. You would just call it the Bronze Dragons under Nodris. I don't think they have a name, but they have allies, understandings, especially with our kingdom. They have their own heroes. Some even become dragon riders with them.
Sparkles.
But no, they involve themselves in any major war. They love war. They pick a side. That side usually
More
wins.
sparkles.
And they aren't loyal to any one side. It's more of what side they find themselves believing more in. Sometimes you might think you have a good cause, but the other side has a better one.
Warlords.
These Bronze, they sometimes side with the Northmen, sometimes with the Elves, sometimes with us Hill Dwarfs.
And if the humans had good enough cause to come this way in force, who do you think they would side with?
If it was better cause than who they're fighting against, the humans, most likely.
Interesting.
I see.
You've been seeing a few more than usual in these woods lately.
No, not us. We see Bronze patrolling, usually just the younger ones. Nodris doesn't really have cause to fly over us, but
I was talking about humans.
oh. Yes, that little cold town. I heard the last few months they've been scurrying about out of their little settlement, getting into mischief, stealing our prey.
Oh, those humans there getting into mischief with their
What's
little
that? What's that, Belanos?
Is that the Brutka that you're talking about?
Yes, those ones. They're weird. Not like the humans down in the plains. Not like the trappers who work with us. They keep to themselves, and it's best that way.
We were told they have some sort of statue or idol that they seem to be worshipping.
I've heard the same. Some kind of grotesque stone statue in the middle of their settlement in the woods. They built their town around it.
Oh.
So the statue was there first.
I think so. Yes. Or maybe they rebuilt their town around it. I know they did some construction about 10 years ago. Either an expansion or an installation. Can't remember exactly. But yes, they normally keep to themselves. And then these last few months, they've been seen all over the place. Even got so close some of the kids have seen them. And they shouldn't be wandering too far.
Uh-huh.
They give each other like a knowing look, like little fuckers. Like,
Yeah. God damn it.
Definitely lied.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right over there.
Yep.
Has anyone seen what the statue is actually of?
I'm sure some of the scouts and hunters have, but I haven't seen it myself. I know it's kind of big from what they tell me. Not like as tall of it as a tree, but no, smaller than that thing you have right there. Points to your big old Kilawa, as you've found the name for. But I don't know, maybe 2 of you tall, from what I've heard. But yeah, they've been acting up, and there's been those disappearances the last 3 years or so, but the timing doesn't line up. Anyways,
What type of disappearances?
It's probably obsidian, but there's been strange signs of trade caravans, and we're expecting them, or we sent them, and they disappear. It looks like, based on the investigation, usually some kind of group of standing. It looks like they turn and walk one direction, and then blood. Everything gone. The people or whatever did this, their tracks covered up well. They took a long time before they left. Systematic. We've signed at least 12 cases in the last 3 years. Entire caravans gone. Everyone missing. You're muted.
Does Shaska know anything about this with the 17 history?
Now that can't be good.
Or maybe message me.
So, 17 history. With the clues you've gotten so far, you've basically heard, Obsidian does banditing, but they're not cutthroats necessarily. They're, all right, pay your toll, like that kind of stuff. Or like, all right, we're going to take some, but not everything. You know how it is. We're Obsidian. Like that's, they're Team
God.
Rocket, basically. So Team Rocket's not a bunch of like murderers who just cover up their tracks.
Yeah.
With that history, it could be some kind of beast out here, but that doesn't quite make sense, covering up the tracks. Could be some folks you met recently, even. That's, I think, pretty good with the clues you've got. And Brasta's reaction that they were going to go check into that and come back.
Yep. Nice.
You can it's a pretty decent guess that maybe those humans you killed might have been the ones doing this.
Interesting.
But yes, it looked like strange, like there was some kind of... They walked away and then they were killed.
Almost like they were told they could take whatever they could carry and leave the rest behind. And then were ambushed.
Oh,
it's a very
that'd be
specific
a right proper shame.
Example, but yes.
Rich gonna nudge.
It's a very specific guess.
I know where to find that group. There's a valley not far northwest of here. They should still be hanging there.
What? What did you hang? What are you talking about?
There's just some trouble on the road. Nothing to be worried about.
So it was obsidian. I told you it was obsidian.
I don't think so.
What?
Humans from
Evren. Basically, anything east of the forest to the jungle.
Did she ever give me the badge back, or does she still have it?
She
still like, hey,
has
don't tell people about this. This is under investigation. You're like,
symbol of the winged creature, triangles, purple and yellow.
From Everent? So this might be an act of war.
Could be.
Interesting. I'm going to have to tell my uncle about this.
They were well armed, but had been on the road for quite some time. You could tell by the degradation of their gear. I can tell you by their attitude that they have wet their blades many times with the blood of dwarves on the road and anyone else that would have fallen to their scheme.
Suppose we should be thanking you if this is what happened. Did you tell Brosta about it?
I did. And I even gave her the proof. She was both surprised, concerned, and relieved.
Well, I hope it's not war. We don't need to lose any more dwarves. Let me scroll down.
He sounds like he is of some importance.
Yeah. Kevla, he lives down in Kivgrind. He's actually an assistant to the Lord. He bought me these clothes. And she, Kind of leans back. Look at my
Ah.
cool ass dress. This is the red-haired,
Yeah.
younger, square-faced dwarf. Yeah.
Exquisite. You have fine tastes.
He's somewhat of a name around here. Led some of the bigger fights, you know. Even spooked some of the elves off. Or it looks over at Belenos. Where are you from?
Me?
Yeah. You don't look like the elves around here. Your skin's pale.
Oh, no, I'm not from around here. I'm just